the morning calm of Korea, when its peace and tranquility truly merited its ancient name, Joseon, there lived a politician by name Yi Chin-ho. He was a man of parts, and, who shall say, perhaps in no wise worse than politicians the world over. But, unlike his brethren in other lands, Yi Chin-ho was in jail. Not that he had inadvertently diverted to himself public moneys, but that he had inadvertently diverted too much. Excess is to be deplored in all things, even in grafting, and Yi Chin-ho's excess had brought him to most deplorable straits. 10,000 strings of cash he owed the government, and he lay in prison under sentence of death. There was one advantage to the situation. He had plenty of time in which to think, and he thought well. Then he called the jailer to him. "Most worthy man, you see before you one most wretched," he began. "Yet all will be well with me if you will but let me go free for 1 short hour this night, and all will be well with you, for I shall see to your advancement through the years, and you shall come at length to the directorship of all the prisons of Joseon." "How now?" demanded the jailer. "What foolishness is this? 1 short hour, and you but waiting for your hair to be chopped off, and I, with an aged and much to be respected mother, not to say anything of a wife and several children of tender years, out upon you for the scoundrel that you are. From the sacred city to the ends of all the 8 coasts, there is no place for me to hide." Yi Chin-ho made reply, "I am a man of wisdom, but of what worth my wisdom here in prison? Were I free, well, I know I could seek out and obtain the money wherewith to repay the government. I know of a nose that will save me from all my difficulties." "A nose!" cried the jailer. "A nose," said Yi Chin-ho. "A remarkable nose, if I may say so, a most remarkable nose." The jailer threw up his hands despairingly. "Ah, what a wag you are, what a wag!" He laughed. "To think that that very admirable wit of yours must go to the way of the chopping block." And so saying, he turned and went away. But in the end, being a man soft of head and heart, when the night was well along, he permitted Yi Chin-ho to go. Straight he went to the governor, catching him alone and arousing him from his sleep. "Yi Chin-ho, or I'm no governor," cried the governor. "What are you doing here, who should be in prison waiting on the chopping block?" "I pray your excellency to listen to me," said Yi Chin-ho, squatting on his hams by the bedside and lighting his pipe from the firebox. "A dead man is without value. It is true, I am as a dead man, without value to the government, to your excellency, or to myself. But if so to say, your excellency were to give me my freedom—" "Impossible!" cried the governor. "Besides, you are condemned to death." "Your excellency well knows that if I can repay the 10,000 strings of cash, the government will pardon me." Yi Chin-ho went on. "So, as I say, if your excellency were to give me my freedom for a few days, being a man of understanding, I should then repay the government and be in position to be of service to your excellency. I should be in position to be of very great service to your excellency. Have you a plan whereby you hope to obtain this money?" asked the governor. "I have," said Yi Chin-ho. Then come with it to me tomorrow midnight. I would now sleep, said the governor, taking off his snore where it had been interrupted. On the following night, having again obtained leave of absence from the jailer, Ho presented himself at the governor's bedside. "Is it you, Ho?" asked the governor. "And have the plan?" "It is I, your excellency," answered Ho, "and the plan is here." "Speak," commanded the governor. "The plan is here," repeated Ho, "here in my hand." The governor sat up and opened his eyes. Ho proffered in his hands a sheet of paper. The governor held it to the light. "Nothing but a nose," he said. "A bit pinched, so and so, your excellency," said Ho. "Yes, a bit pinched here and there, as you say," said the governor. "Without, it is an exceeding corpulent nose, thus and so, all in one place at the end," proceeded Ho. "Your excellency would seek far and wide and many a day for that nose and find it not." "An unusual nose," admitted the governor. "There is a wart upon it," said Ho. "A most unusual nose," said the governor. "Never have I seen the like. But what do you do with this nose, Ho?" "I seek it whereby to repay the money to the government," said Ho. "I seek it to be of service to your excellency, and I seek it to save my own worthless head. Further, I seek your excellency's seal upon this picture of the nose." And the governor laughed and affixed the seal of state, and Ho departed. For a month and a day he traveled the King's Road, which leads to the shore of the Eastern Sea, and there, one night, at the gate of the largest mansion of a wealthy city, he knocked loudly for admittance. "None other than the master of the house will I see," said he fiercely to the frightened servant. "I travel upon the king's business." Straightway was he led to an inner room, where the master of the house was roused from his sleep and brought blinking before him. "You are Pak Chung Chang, headman of this city," said Cho, in tones that were all accusing. "I am upon the king's business." Pak Chung Chang trembled. Well, he knew the king's business was ever a terrible business. His knees smote together, and he near fell to the floor.